Basically,
Go
buy
and
something for less than what you can afford.
Yes.
Do the basics, go and drive it,
And then
and then improve where you think it needs improving.
Yeah. What I would say is, whenever you ask on an open forum what track car you should get, you will get very narrow-minded answers. You will get, you should get a Honda. You should get a Peugeot. You should buy a Ford Fiesta because they're the best car in the world. Why is that? Because I own one. No, forget all that. The best piece of advice I think I would give people is, say your budget's 5, say your budget's 10, right? If your budget's £10,000, for instance, which is a fair bit of money spent on a track car, don't go out and spend £10,000 on a track car. I think that would be so wrong, because it costs money to get these cars sorted. I know there's a big kind of thing at the moment about whatever car you have, go out and drive it, and yeah, I think we're very much about that too, but realistically, you saw what happened when we took the 350Z out without doing anything to it. It ate a set of pads within a couple of sessions. So I think it's expectation versus reality. If you're going to spend £10,000 on your budget 10, maybe spend 6, keep a bit of money aside just to do the bare minimal, really. If you can upgrade the consumables to stuff that's actually going to take the abuse, it's the best thing you can do, really, isn't it?
I think in most cases, make sure it's well maintained, make sure the servicing's where it should be. Even if it's had a service 6,000 miles ago, probably just do another one.
Yeah.
Make sure you do the gearbox oil, because nobody ever does that, and it's probably more important than the engine oil on a track car. And then just make sure the brakes can stand it, so you'll probably need brake fluid and brake pads, new discs if they need replacing. And apart from that, you might not need anything. Some tyres that will stand up to the abuse.
Yeah, you can have a lot of fun with any kind of set of tyres, but it's definitely a consideration, isn't it?
If you're on a dry track day and you're using road tyres, you'll probably do a lot of damage to them.
Yeah, you really
will. It's not cost effective to use road tyres on anything but the lightest of cars.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could move on from that maybe and think of other things. That, I mean, not that it's necessary, but a nice seat can really give you a better connection with what the car's doing beneath you, and can be a lot safer with a harness as well from that point of view. Coilovers as well, again, not necessary, but certainly the 350Z rolled far too much before we did that. This little beast of a Clio, I don't think it's as necessary, because you bought the posh cup.
Yeah, with the cup suspension, it's pretty acceptable. I'd love to. The problem with this car is that the dampers probably cost about, I don't know, £2.50 each from Kayaba. And to make the cup version, they probably just said, okay, we want a 30% stiffer damper, or whatever the number is. So it's not a good damper, it's just a firm shit damper. And it works a bit, and it's acceptable on track, but it's not a good damper. So I'd love to put some good dampers on it, and on any car, better dampers. The coilovers normally the most cost-effective way of going about it. Although that said, most people don't need coilovers. Most people fit coilovers because it's the done thing. But most people would probably get as much from some adjustable dampers and some lowering springs.
Definitely.
They might get better parts for their money.
I think as well, a lot of people, the stiffer a car in many ways, the more forgiving it is. If you
get away with a lot.
You get away with a lot more with a stiffer car. If you've got a more compliance to a degree with a softer chassis setup, you've also got the added effect of having to control that roll. You've got to be super smooth. So again, maybe from the beginning, going with a softer setup teaches you the groundwork. Could set you up for then not taking liberties when you have a harder car that you can then take more liberties with.
If you can learn weight transfer in a fairly standard car, then it'll hold you in very good stead. I haven't mastered weight transfer. Very few people have, but people who are very, very fast manage weight transfer better than others. Is one of the most important factors of going
It's
quick.
why you do see a lot of very good motorcycle riders getting cars and be ballistic, because they understand weight transfer on another level.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And yourself, Will, having done the rollerblading, just the balance and understanding of balance and weight, and it shows. You've got great balance and you've got great car control. You know, if you look at Adam, he was into trick bikes, and it shows. These people have got fantastic car control because they understand balance and weight transfer.
Silky smooth. That was quite a long answer.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Basically, buy something for less than what you can afford.
Yes.
Do the basics. Go and drive it,
and then
and then improve where you think it needs improving.
Yeah.
Not where the forums tell you it needs.
No,
improving.
definitely don't do that.
Sometimes they're right, but make sure that you know.
Definitely.
Check that it is the right thing for you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just whatever car you want is the answer, really. Whatever car you want, and maybe the more you know and feel comfortable with a car. Like I'm quite at home with my Hondas for some reason.
One thing I would say as well, I've never driven front wheel drive on track until I bought this Clio. I've only done one track day in it. I couldn't believe how easy it was. I could not believe how easy it is. It's a great beginner car, but I wonder if you bought something like this, you'd miss out on some of the development of having a rear wheel drive car that you had to have a bit more skill to drive.
Probably just lost half our subscribers.
Yeah, it's possible, but
but it's the truth.
I really
but it's how we feel.
An awful lot easier to drive.
Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, I think before you did that track day, we've been talking a lot about what is this going to be like?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't. I mean, I remember back in the Teg, I learned. My first track car was an Integra Type R DC2, and it looked after me so incredibly well, and I learned really, really, really good groundwork in that car, because there was nothing to be had from being Larry in it. You had to be clinically smooth, and that was your lot, really. There was no rewards from being off the rails like there is to some degree in a rear wheel drive car. You probably see some of my other bits where realistically I'm not fast at all, I'm just a child.
Having the most fun.
Yeah, and I can't help it, because there's a reward from being a chav in a rear wheel drive car, whereas being a chav in a front wheel drive car just doesn't get you anywhere. So I'm really glad actually that I did do those. That, on the flip side of what you said, it taught me how to be clinical because there were no rewards, but totally understand that.
I think it's some of the car control you miss out. You can absolutely learn your track craft.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you lose, and I'm sure in the older hot hatches, there's an awful lot of car control there. You know, the old French stuff that just wants to oversteer all the time. I'm sure it's a different game. But even that said, if you're able to just mash the throttle pedal and pull it back, you're not learning the balance.
No, yeah, it's having that adjustability, isn't it?